here, Tim. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is a crazy day. I'm so very thankful. My day started with some tears, but at the same time, I was going to be here today to celebrate Jen returning after a battle with cancer. And the same morning you return, one of our friends goes to be with Jesus.
But I know he's in Jesus' arms, and I can't think of anyone who, as odd as it sounds, but who was looking forward to being there and seeing his Lord in person. He was so prepared.
For you who
wonderful man,
for
wonderful man.
In the Copper Basin and in McCaysville, Blue Ridge, Papa Jack Bryson went to be with Jesus early this morning.
A lot of y'all know him as Grady. A lot of y'all knew him as Grady.
He was Joyce's love of her life.
He was Joyce and Denise's wonderful father, and Denny's wonderful father-in-law, and he was just one of those wonderful, wonderful men that when he gave you a hug, you knew you'd been hugged.
Yep. And I'll tell you, all morning long we tried to find, here's the remote if you need that. We kept trying to find a picture of he and I at Singing in the Mountains. It's one of my very favorite pictures ever.
Oh my gosh, I may have one.
Well,
I may have.
me a bear hug.
I have one.
Oh, well,
please.
I've got an 8
well,
by 10, I just couldn't
Eric
find
Chastain's in it, but
this is before.
I think I've got a picture of you and Jack.
Yeah,
I think I do.
Usually, I do the set in the fall colors that lead over into Christmas. But this year, in honor of cancer, Jen has battled and beaten cancer. In honor of suicide prevention, we lost my daughter to suicide. We have colors that are very different. And
but those are her colors.
In honor of Alzheimer's, we have teal, purple, and pink. So this year, our set will not be done in traditional Christmas. It's going to be done in these colors that have to bring joy to us, because we all know somebody who's battled cancer and beaten cancer. We all know somebody who sadly committed suicide, but then we know somebody who maybe turned their life around and did not in their life.
Absolutely.
And then Alzheimer's, because we've just said goodbye to Freddie's precious, precious mama. Alzheimer's, dementia, it is the cruelest.
There's just so much
world.
right now when you think about how many people we have lost. It's like, I thought the other day, sitting for my last chemotherapy treatment in that IV lab, there were 2 people that were not in that lab that day that I had gotten used to seeing.
And they were gone.
And they were gone. And I knew they were going to be gone because the nurse, there's just nothing that's sacred or private in that lab. You talk about things that you would never talk about outside. But to know that those 2 people who weren't related to each other, but each went on the same day.
Isn't that something?
And to watch them fight a brave fight like they had been fighting up almost to the very end is just heartbreaking.
Cancer. Hans Rupert said it best. He said cancer sucks, and I guess that's pretty appropriate. But I'll tell you something that is even worse. The battle that so many are fighting with dementia, that is such a cruel, horrible thing. I watched my dear friend Sandra Davenport take care of her mama until the last moment of her life. I watched another dear friend who, after 13 years of being his wife's complete caregiver, she went to be with the Lord. You think about that.
Look how fast Evelyn went.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was just almost like crazy. 1 week she could talk, and 2 weeks later she didn't know who you were.
And look at that picture. This is a photo that Jen took of Bob and Evelyn Blackstone, and they
Blackberry Ridge Eatery.
Yeah, Blackberry Ridge Eatery. 2 of my dearest friends, and I had her on the program in January, and by late February we knew that we were losing her, and we were losing her because dementia had taken over her mind
so completely, so rapidly.
Yeah. So our set,
I'd never seen anything like that.
The colors is in honor and dedication to Alzheimer's, suicide, and cancer. From prevention,
that's a beautiful piece, by
prevention to knowledge.
I meant to tell you that the other day, how much I liked that.
That thing? Oh, that was Rich Scott's.
Was that his work desk?
Yeah.
But it looks very different than it ever did when
does.
Rich had it all spread out and messed up.
All weekend long, all I've thought about is I don't want the normal Christmas set. I don't want the normal Christmas set. I want something that honors Loretta Brackett, that honors Evelyn Blackstone, that honors Angela Burgess, that honors Jen Berger, that honors everybody who came through these horrible parts of life, from the suicide to the...
Michelle's cancer, still cancer-free. They just
there
checked
you go.
her.
Yay. Yay.
So they won't
Yay.
check her again. She'll have another one. So we're
honoring survivors. We are honoring those that were lost. We are honoring those who are battling dementia. And to every caregiver who's ever taken care of somebody with dementia, that is the hardest, saddest thing in the world. And when your child doesn't know you, you're diapering and feeding and bathing your parents, and they don't even know who you are. That is the saddest thing ever. So it is very, very hard, and it is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because it's one of those things. We don't know what brings it on. You know, there are all kinds of books written on how you fight dementia, how you fight this, how do you do. You eat healthy, you do this, you do this. But when it comes down to it, I think genetics play a huge part in it.
Well, you know, God set all of our patterns for our lives.
Right, right.
And He knows when we're coming home. He knows everything. He helps the doctors.
Right.
He works with them. But He ultimately knows where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know how to deal with it. I know I went through 6 long months of chemotherapy, and all the stories people tell you just don't tell you, it just doesn't prepare you for what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my follow-up PET scan on Tuesday morning. I had to be at the hospital at 6:40 in the morning, and Thanksgiving was on Thursday. And so I went on, from there I went down to my oncologist office, and I had told Dr. Geller when I was having it and everything. And about 6:15 that Tuesday night, my phone rang. And I saw Dr. Geller come up, and my thought was, oh Lord, what did I not do? I don't know what I thought. And I answered it, and he said, hey Jen, it's Dr. Geller. And I said, yes sir. And he said, I've been looking all day for the results of your PET scan, and I've got them. And I said, oh. And he said, yes. He said, your PET scan's clear. There's no
Yay!
There's no
So
record
we're
or anything.
Celebrating with
So the night
pink
before
and purple
Thanksgiving,
and turquoise.
the night before Thanksgiving, God gave me the greatest thing in the world that we could have been thankful for, instead of him calling and saying, why don't you come on down to the office in the morning?
Yep.
We need to talk about some things. He said, I knew how nervous you were, and I wanted you to have a better Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And this wonderful
Wow.
man in this faith-based practice, who's been so very good, called me with wonderful, I think I called you, I called
awesome.
I started calling everybody I knew. You won't believe the news I just got. You won't believe the news I just got. But
So
for him to call me,
was truly thankful.
Thanksgiving was truly,
Yeah.
could not give thanks enough. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank everybody for all of the prayers and the calls and the cards, and you just don't know till something like this hits you what you go through. But it's been I'm telling you, it's been a interesting summer, and I'm so glad it's over with. They don't declare me cancer free for months.
Yeah.
And I'll have to be tested, and I've got some really happy tests to go through over the next few months, but I'll deal with them.
Of course, you chose the weirdest cancer in the world.
Well, you know
didn't
me,
choose anything normal.
I don't do anything ordinary. I had to take something.
I would
that
say
was
a bad word. You don't know anything half.
wicked, mean, and nasty, and unusual.
Yes.
But
yeah.
to find a doctor that specializes in it at home.
Yeah. That's
I mean, there are
amazing.
people come from all over the world to see this man. He's part of the Northside Cancer Institute. His name's Brian Geller, and if any of you ever need a cancer doctor, let me tell you, you could not be in better hands. But everybody down there just makes you feel so you're part of the family. All of the nurses know everything
now, where is
about
his
you.
Practice?
He's behind, you know where Rocco's is?
Yes.
He's behind, their office there is behind Rocco's. The gastroenterologist.
He's near Dr.
Well, Dr. Gambelos, Dr. Galam, in the building next door to him.
He was JS's doctor.
So I was right there when they found the cancer, and he said, "I'm sending you to the man you need to see, who happens to be right here."
Wow.
I had it taken out in Atlanta at Big Piedmont, but I had such a wonderful team. I never even thought about a second opinion. It just all seemed to fall into line with people that knew, understood. It's a neoendocrine, very rare, very strange.
Of course.
Very mean, very nasty, very hateful. But they don't know. They took out 22 lymph nodes during the surgery, and 2 came back. So it wasn't colon cancer because it didn't start in the colon. It's a weirdness to it. But so I had a cancer in my colon that was stage 3. And if you think that's not scary, that'll really put a bump in your highway for a day or two.
Yeah.
But right people
Well,
found
we
it,
have
took
some
it
things
out.
we want to share with you, and I can't do it yet because we're having a little bit of trouble with the monitor. And so until I can see them, we can't share them because
and I
I
can turn to
can't
look
tell
at the
you
monitor for a
exactly.
change.
So I can't do that. So
Well,
I think
I've missed you. I've loved talking to you and texting with you, but I've missed being here.
I've missed you. I tell you. It's been.
You've had some guests I'd really like to have been talking to.
We've had some good times.
You've had some good people that I'd really like to be talking to.
I do want to share a song, though, in honor of Papa Jack and in honor of
so much.
So many of our friends have gone to be
him.
with Jesus this year. And so Susan Liebert wrote a song called The Seasons, and I've shared it on different occasions. But I think today we're approaching a season. It is my season that is the hardest to get through for me. The holidays really take me down. They really destroy your mind and give you some really sad, heartful things happening in you. And it's very, very hard. But we're going to get through this season, and this season will turn into another season, and another season. Yeah,
And I got up and came to you.
You did, and then you had the flu, and I said, "Stay away."
I'm convinced that we both were so sick that we stopped and ate going home. I don't know whether we both got. I've thought through the years that I think we might have gotten food poisoning.
Really? Wow.
Because both of us to get so
sick quickly.
I don't want to use the term deathly ill, but
Yeah,
I mean,
you are.
we literally, one was asleep in the shower and one was in the bathtub because we couldn't get anywhere else.
Oh, Lord.
But we were both so miserably sick.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it was, but I think it might have been food poisoning. I don't know now. I can't.
Yep.
But oh no, sick.
Well, we're gonna just take a little break, and we're gonna share a song. And again, it's about seasons. And I don't care what season you're going through in your life right now. It may be a very happy season for you because you love the holidays, your children are around, your grandchildren are around. It may be a very dark time in your life because maybe you've just buried a loved one, and we see that everywhere we go. If you read the obituaries, you know somebody who just passed away.
Every time I drive by the funeral home, the lights are on, and I couldn't even believe it.
It's crazy.
At Finch the other day, we even had family members that had died of COVID.
Yeah.
A house of family members.
Right. It's crazy. And so this song goes out to everybody who is looking at life and going, the seasons are going to change. The seasons will get better. The seasons will get darker. The seasons will brighten again, and then spring will come back. And to the nut who changed the time, I do not like this dark time. I want it to be light. I'm ready to just say we need to vote for whoever can change the time. I don't care what your political thoughts are. If you'll change the time for me, I'll be happy.
I'm trying. And I keep going back to the time some idiot who shall remain nameless, but you would know who he was, said, "But you got to understand there's more daylight for the farmers." And I looked at him.
Yeah.
And I said, "What in the world is wrong with you?"
Yeah, crazy.
You know,
and
the
the
sun
farmers
comes up and the sun goes down.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I hate it. I just hate it.
So if you're in a dark season, if you're in a happy season, this song pretty much says it all. And again, it was written by our dear friend Susan Liebert, who seems to write songs that set the tone for the day. And so today, in honor of Papa Jack, in honor of the day that he went to be with his precious Joyce, we want to share some music. And then today we're going to end the program with a song that his daughter does. And it couldn't be more appropriate because it says, "Turn your eyes upon Jesus."
Oh.
And oh my goodness, he went to bed last night and he woke up in the arms of Jesus.
Joyce's funeral
Now,
was
does that
just
not
one of
get
the
any
most
better?
unbelievable
It was.
celebrations.
And she went
of
away
life.
in a pink and black outfit that I gave her, and
Pink
she looked
cherries,
great in it.
Some pink cherries. We know where
Looked
that
so
came
good.
from.
It
but
looked
no,
so
it's
good.
just-
So
no,
here we
but-
go. Let's sit back and let's enjoy a song by Susan Seasons.
We walked through the snow in the winter, picked flowers in the fields in the spring. We shared life's beauty and each other's moments and the joy that the seasons can bring. We found shells on the beach in the summer, gathered colored leaves in the fall. We gazed at the night sky and counted the stars. We were young and thought we had it all. Now it's the season of change. Nothing stays the same. The world keeps turning. We keep learning. In the end, there's no one to blame. As the seasons change, can it be? The shells have washed out to the sea. The night sky turned gray, the leaves blew away, and the snow disappeared in a day. Now it's the season of change. Nothing stays the same. The world keeps turning. We keep learning. In the end, there's no one to blame. As the seasons change, can it be? The shells have washed out to the sea. The night sky turned gray, the leaves blew away, and the snow disappeared in a day.
Yay!
Well,
Yay, we're back, y'all. We're live now. We're real. We're real. We're real.
You know, this would have been funny. I have a sweater very much like that.
Oh, how funny.
I came so close to wearing it, and I thought, no, I
I'm
think
glad
I'm going to
you wore
wear.
red.
I think I'm going to wear red today and
Well, for
wake
everybody who is
up.
tuning in, and we have been celebrating life today. We're celebrating the life of Papa Grady. He is one of the best. He went to be with Jesus early this morning, And for everybody in McCaysville, Mineral Bluff, everybody up there knew him.
This is just gonna
If you were
gonna
part
tear
of the
everyone
community
down.
meal, you knew
Oh
that
my goodness
Joyce
gracious!
Bryson, his beautiful wife, was one of the founders of the community meal, and Papa Jack was always there. He
You
was
remember
always
that day
there
we
to
all
lend a
sat down
hand.
at that table and
I have pictures of that if I can just find them. Y'all don't know. Tim controls my life. Tim has everything I've ever done, seen, or had on a disc somewhere.
Tim, we'll talk later.
So, and every once in a while he'll find things that surprise me. So today we have some surprises, and we're going to share some surprises. Now, if you haven't been tuning in all morning, our colors on the set changed.
They're beautiful.
To go with
they're
purple,
actually just beautiful.
teal, and pink, because we are honoring suicide, we are honoring dementia and Alzheimer's, and we are honoring cancer. And we are saying God got so many people through this year battling cancer.
Well, look at Danny.
Look at Danny Hensley.
Danny
what
and
a
I.
miracle.
The
What a
fact
miracle.
that ours happened
Yeah, we're
almost
diagnosed about the same
about
time.
the same
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
for both of us to go through what we went through, and both
And
of us
doing
to be
well.
where we are now.
Yeah, yeah.
See, God's got a plan.
Yep, yep.
God's got a plan because we're
And
in
I
His
think
hands.
that's the key to this is no matter what you're facing, you got to turn it over to Him. And it's been so hard for so many people to get through. I was thinking about COVID and what it's done to so many people I know. It ended the lives of so many people I know.
Oh my great! And
It ended the lives
now
of so
here we
many
are
people.
going into another strain.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you had your booster?
I'm not having any of my shots.
You haven't
No,
had-
I don't have shots. I don't have shots. No. No, thank you.
I've had mine.
No.
Well, my oncologist said, "Get thee to the doctor." He said,
Yeah,
"He
I'm
said
good.
you don't have any kind of immune system." And he
I
said, "You're
do
gonna
have
catch
some-
anything."
I have some surgery that's coming up, but I think we're going to
We're gonna
change
get
some
you through
dates
those. We're gonna get
because-
you through
I'm going
those.
to change some dates because of some labs, and I'm going to just be I'm going to be ready for it when it comes, but we're going to have to stall a little bit.
No, but some of these you don't. I'm gonna preach to you.
No, this is not.
Some of these
no, it's gonna
don't
be
you
good.
don't you
No,
don't
it's
you
gonna be
stall
good.
on
It's
some
gonna
of
be
these
good.
things.
It's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good. But today I wanted to honor suicide prevention. Please remember, if you know somebody is depressed, who is hurting, whose heart is broken, reach out to them and help them. If you know somebody who is
Cole, when
a
you get
caretaker.
Cole, when you get a chance over the next day or so, try to get a close-up of that wreath. It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And the colors are, it's
And
just
I wanted
gorgeous.
to share with you where that wreath came from. It hung in my daughter's dining room.
Is that where
and
it
in
was?
my daughter's living room for many years.
I remember
and
that night
it
I went through
matched
her house.
It matched
She
her
had a
12-foot
gumdrop
tree.
Christmas tree in her You opened her refrigerator, and there was a Christmas tree on the shelf. I've never been.
the refrigerator.
Even at Rich's in downtown Atlanta, I don't think Rich's was ever decorated like Angela's. You told me, you said, "Now, I'm forewarning you." Little did I know.
Yeah.
We won't even talk about the bathrooms, but on
48 trees.
on the refrigerator shelf was a Christmas tree.
Yep. But this
that's
was her
beautiful.
wreath,
I
and
love
I have
that.
had it all these years.
I love that angel.
I haven't been able to do anything with it. And with Papa Jack's passing, and with us honoring you today, cancer-free, and
That is
us
just
honoring
gorgeous.
the fact that now Tori works hand in hand with suicide prevention.
I love that
She
purple
is
one
on
right
the
there in
board
the
of
basket.
directors. She is trying to make a difference in somebody's life because she had to bury her mom. And so,
Well, it's like me. I will work diligent. I've worked for cancer for 30 years because of,
Yep.
well, 32 years from losing Bob. But now that I've faced it, yeah, Hans is right. Cancer sucks. There's just not
Yep.
another word for it.
no.
But it affects everyone you know,
Yep.
and it makes it so hard for us.
Well, Tim has found some things that I think you're going to enjoy. So, Tim, can we take it away and can we show Jen what she might enjoy?
I'm looking at the monitor and I'm
Some
holding my
surprises.
breath,
So here
holding
we
my
go.
hands. Here we go. Oh dear.
Yeah.
What's the latest thing the neighbors say? And your mother called last Friday, sunshine made it cry. Felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Mountain mama, take me home, country road. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye, country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me, radio reminds me of my home.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Cherie Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Okay, now what you got to see was a surprise that I didn't even know existed. And Tim found it in my archives that I had no idea.
Okay, I'm watching the monitor.
But now we're going to get to see some photos of people and places that we went and
I love that
trips
wreath.
that we made. Do you remember a trip we made to meet Joel Osteen in Atlanta?
I most certainly do. We went in the Hummer.
And do you remember that at that point in time, Freddie had a splitting, blasting
Freddie
headache.
was sick that night
He
with
was so
sinus
sick.
something.
And his electrolytes in his head were so messed up.
Scott and Angie and Jonathan and
Angela
went.
And it was one of those happy
New
memories.
dad John.
Yeah, yeah. Is that baby here yet?
Not yet, but and we still don't know whether it's a he or a she. That's just driving its grandmother bonkers. She wants to buy all these pretty little girly dresses, and they won't tell her. But Madison looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. We did the hanging of the green at church last night. I don't know if you.
For everybody who has not been to Epworth, it's one of the most beautiful churches, and at Christmas especially. So if you live in the community, if you don't live in the community, go visit. It's a beautiful church.
I don't know if you remember the first time we ever went to Airport
On a
Church.
Sunday
You
night.
and I went for a
On
hanging
a
of the
Sunday
green
night.
to get
Yep.
to do something for the show.
Yep, we sure did.
Tom
We
and I
sure
talked
did.
about that last
Yeah,
night. Tom
yeah.
and Priscilla were there.
Yeah, plenty
But
of
it's the
memories.
last time the
Okay, here we
sanctuary
go.
will
Look
look
at
like
that.
this. Oh,
Did
look
you
at
know I
that!
didn't even know I had that.
What a good-looking
I didn't
woman
even
that is
know
by
I
that
had
man.
that. I'm so
you want to see this
excited.
picture of James?
I'm so
Okay,
excited.
I gotta have a copy of it. Tim,
It's
you better have
crazy the things
you
that
better
Tim
have a
can-
disc in over there.
Look, and there's Angela.
I've got-
and, how
and
fresh-
there's
I gotta
everybody.
laugh at this, y'all. Look at that Coach pocketbook sitting over there in Atlanta.
Oh
on-
my God,
on a school-
above. That was the
Oh, yeah.
ninth.
And that's
Oh,
the night that
dear.
we met Joel Osteen that night, and we had a blast.
And
it
you
was just
lost
a
that
wonderful,
purse at the
wonderful
Marietta
time.
Diner. Man, I ate at the Marietta
Yep.
Diner the
and
other
there's,
day.
you talk about gone to be with
Oh, my
Jesus. There's
goodness
Laura
gracious.
and Carl Ed. Precious, 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 precious. That's at Epworth. There's
As Miss Joyce, she's
Bryson.
rejoicing today.
Papa Jack has gone to be with his beautiful, beautiful
Oh, my
Joyce.
gracious.
And what a memory. What a memory. And there's our precious Papa Jack at Harbor Ministries. And y'all
Boy, we had some good food
keep
there.
Danny and Denise and all the kids in your prayers.
That's not that.
because
No,
they
that
are-
wouldn't have been the eclair cake because the eclair cake
No,
had chocolate
that
on
was
the
a
top
coconut
of it.
one. Yeah, that was a coconut one. So yeah, and it's crazy the memories we have. It's crazy the beautiful thoughts and the things that we get to see. It's just, you know, we've traveled a lot of miles together. Okay, you can come back to me now. Okay. All right.
I want that
Did
picture
you
of
know
James.
that picture
No,
existed?
no, I didn't. I've
either.
never. No, I don't
didn't
remember
either.
ever seeing that one. But I want that.
Isn't that
I want
awesome?
that. I want that. Tim, better get it to me. I'm gonna take it anyway. Thank you. I love
How
that.
sweet. What
He's,
a sweet memory.
That was.
Jen, we are facing a season of our life.
That was
and it
wonderful.
is a season of our life that, you know, we have gone through losing loved ones. We have seen some people overcome cancer. Look at Hans Ruford. Over 15 years, and he has made it. He made it. And so you have 15 years to look forward to,
I hope and pray.
you know? And
Again, God's got a message. God's got a plan for me. So here I am. I thank
and
Him
next time
every
you come,
day.
we're making bread pudding. We're making bread pudding because I've been on this mission. Do you like bread pudding, Michelle?
Oh man, love bread
Well,
pudding.
I have
I got all
made-
kinds of pans and ovens
I've
to
made
bring.
5 different kinds of bread pudding. I used to hate bread pudding, and now I'm obsessed
Well,
with
but
it.
you know what I hated about bread pudding?
It tasted like bread pudding.
Well, kind of. But I'm not a big raisin fan.
I don't put raisins
And
in
I
it.
don't want raisins thrown in, and I
don't put
don't want,
raisins.
it's what a lot of people were throwing in it.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
pudding,
Yeah.
now,
Mine
have
is-
you had it with Krispy Kreme donuts?
I saw that recipe, but mine, I took an apple cake.
I
and
just
made
gained
bread
3
pudding out of
pounds
it.
by saying that. But with Krispy Kreme donuts.
That would be really good.
Oh, holy cow.
That would be
You know how good
wonderful.
those dad blame things are. We ate a dozen, you and I did one night.
Yeah.
And that night that, I
And
remember
maybe
that night
what's wrong
that
with my
you and
sugar
Regina
today.
and I stopped and got 6 dozen donuts.
Yes, we did.
And we were a long way from home.
Yes, we did. Yes,
But that
we
was a
did.
great thing. But I'm ready to make bread pudding.
We're gonna
I'm ready
do
to
it.
make
We're gonna
all
do it.
kinds
Next
of things.
Monday, we're going to make bread pudding.
So I'm coming next Monday?
You're going to come next Monday because you're going to be fit as a fiddle, and everything's going to be good.
I am fit as a
Everything's
fiddle,
gonna
and
be
I
good.
thank God. I thank God so much for what He's done, and I thank everybody that said a prayer, because it's prayers that are answered, and God listens to those prayers. So we're going to say prayers for you and your
Mm-hmm. Yep.
upcoming
Yep,
surgery. and
mine's going to be simple.
Shirley
simple.
Singleton has gotten through her surgery
She did.
without.
Yeah.
She's working on some scar tissue.
And
but
I have to say to
favorite-
Dawn's Uncle John Tinsley, who lives out here on 382, he had knee replacement after Shirley did. And I think
my
his was done the same way hers was, with a robot. And he's early into therapy and not up and about yet.
The
but-
important thing, she's going to our Taskmaster. We all love the same physical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And she's driving all the way down here to LJ to see Brett. So
Right.
he makes it work.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's
I
really
think
good.
that, I know when I lost my shoulder, and that's the other thing
And I
about this
remember
time of
that.
year, it's so emotional because I look
Oh,
at,
that's right.
I was leaving this earth, and I could feel me leaving this earth. And God let me come back. And I said, oh my
God's
gosh.
got plans for us,
He
Cherie. I
does.
don't know
He
what
does.
they are.
He
But
does.
He's got plans for us. So we're just ready to be here and to do whatever. And I know that this is coming up to be a really hard time for you. I've got you on our prayer list at church, and this friend of mine from California who you've heard me talk about,
Right.
Debbie Carrington, has you on her million-person list. They've prayed for you at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. But God's got a plan.
Yep.
Other than that, we'd have long since, the things that you and I've been through,
Well, it's just like
would
that
long
wreath.
since be through.
That wreath has been in my bedroom, put away for a long, long time. And yesterday I was able to get it out, and I was able to fluff its bow, and I was able to remember how my daughter loved that wreath. She loved it. The people walked into her living room, and there was a 12-foot
Look at how she
purple
loved
Christmas
decorating
tree.
for Christmas. How she loved decorating for Christmas. I remember putting those trees up in Copper Hill.
I actually found some pictures of that.
And she taught me to make bows. And I mean, we were sitting in the floor, we were putting trees together.
Right. I think we had 8 trees there.
You know, she's gone, but she left you such a gift of love. She left you Tori. She left you her love. And we don't understand why God did what He did, but one day we'll know.
Nope, we don't.
One day we'll know. And I know I've talked to him a lot these last few months about how He does things. And, you know, we don't always get the answer we want from Him. We even talked about this at church last night, a couple of us, to how God gives us the answer He wants us to have, that it's not always the answer. But He wanted this to happen for a reason for all of us.
Maybe you just needed.
And I don't
know what you needed. A break.
I don't know, but
it's
what
weird.
you needed. But she's up there, and I feel like she was part of what was watching over me with what I was going through. And I kept remembering how we talked one day we got in trouble with you at Town and Country because we were misbehaving.
Yes, they were.
Charlene and Angela. Jen wasn't by herself. It was Charlene and Angela, and somebody leaned against the washing machine that started. And
It was
Lord,
crazy.
Jimmy Pearson was yelling, "Don't take that picture! Don't!" That was one of the most. If I could take a day back and repeat one day,
It was
I do
such a
believe
wonderful
it would have been
day.
that day
Such
with,
a wonderful day.
with
When we
Jimmy
think
and
about
David
White
was there.
David White was gone.
And David
Yep.
and James were sitting there, and
Happy days.
I told
Yeah.
Michelle, I said, "Give that man over there my telephone number." She says, "Both of them, your real numbers?" And I said, "Yeah."
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm not joking,
so
but
funny, it's so
but I
funny.
just think about some of the stuff that we've done. I'm so glad I spoke to you that day at
Costco.
Costco. Man, you had a shrimp cocktail and a half, and I had a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said, that's Cherie Martin. I'm going to speak to her. And I look at some of the stuff we've gotten into,
Yeah.
and that we've done. Jennifer Futch and I were talking about that the other day. She's
I
ready for you to
went
come out there
Well,
anytime.
I've been 3 times lately, and she's not there. Andy's not there. Ann's not there. And I always ask for all of them, and they said, well, they're not here now. They're not here now. I said, well, they still run this place, don't they? Yeah. But I had what did I have the other day? BLT. I had a club sandwich. I had a club sandwich.
Oh man, I love
there.
the way she fries that bacon in the fryer.
I had a club sandwich.
If you've not had a BLT lately, let me highly recommend that you go out to R&A Orchards on 52 East and have their BLT or their club sandwich.
I was waiting on a client.
Or chicken and dumplings. Go eat anything they've got. It's all delicious.
Well, I have a place for sale, and I was actually waiting to meet somebody there, and I got there, and they'd already closed, and so I couldn't get anything to eat there, so I said, well, I'll just run out to R&A, and I spent an hour there waiting on the client to come. And I did not buy the first fried pie because I knew if I bought them, you know what would happen to them.
You wouldn't have gotten home with them.
And I'm trying so hard to get all my labs right before surgery. So I'm really being cautious, drinking a lot of water, doing all the things you're supposed to do. And it's so funny because I'm sitting in RNA and I'm imagining all these things I could be having, but I didn't do it.
The hot
I was
pepper
good.
jelly on the cream cheese.
Oh, hush now. I did buy hot pepper jelly the other day while I was there. And I usually get the 5 pepper jelly, but they didn't have that, so I just got one that I think says jalapeno pepper jelly, but it's awesome.
I did.
It's awesome.
You remember the day we were doing, Amos was still alive, but we were doing the grilled peanut butter and jelly with blackberry. I did one the other day with hot pepper jelly.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
My heavens, was it.
There you go.
The peanut butter offset the hot pepper
Oh my
jelly.
gosh.
And the hot pepper jelly is so distinct. You got to try one.
I will do that.
Not a great big one. You can't eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
But Fred and I had talked about that. And now Fred's eating them with the hot pepper jelly.
I love it.
Oh,
We've got to get him back maybe before Valentine's Day again.
He's ready. He's got a special Valentine's dish
And I
for us.
think we're going to change my surgery to be closer to right after Valentine's Day is probably the date we'll choose. So I just need to get some things in order
Northside Cherokee?
No, it's over in Forsyth County.
Okay.
In Forsyth County. But it's going to all be good. It's going to all be okay, and I'm going to have some bruising, and then I'll be back. But I just decided we're going to have to reschedule because of some labs and take some time.
And you got to. I've learned to live by labs because I have a port, and every week before I would get my chemotherapy, they had to draw what looked like an obscene number of vials, and then they would go through things and make little tweaks on my chemotherapy based on that. But you've got to live by your labs. You've got to have good ones.
I could almost laugh about this because my mother had...
I'd give you a tissue if I had it.
No, I'm good.
But the roll, our expensive
our toilet paper's gone.
of tissue is nowhere to be found.
My mother had sinus cancer, and it was all in her face, and they operated on her. And when they did, she came back, and I can remember 2 scars right here, and she was so funny, and she said, "Look at this." She said, "I got a facelift, and all I've got is these 2 little bitty scars." And I said, "Oh my God, Mama, you are tighter." And it, it drew her back. But it's so weird when you think about cancer hits every part of your body, from your ear with skin cancer to the bottom of your foot. I know somebody who had cancer on the bottom of their foot. They had melanoma.
I heard one the other day that I'd never in my life heard of. Well, I've heard of bone cancer, but she has cancer of the sternum.
Really?
And she was there in the IV lab, so I know she knows what she's talking about. But we were. One big question is, well, what kind of cancer do you have, or where is it looking? She says, "I have cancer of the." She says, "I have cancer of the sternum." I don't know. I don't. Well, I didn't have any. I didn't have any symptoms to mine.
Right.
Here I go again.
Yep.
Go see your doctor once a year.
Yep.
Do those colonoscopies. Do those tests that you don't want to do. It's well worth what you might find.
Speaking of, Angelique Proctor from Channel 5 is now battling cancer.
And
hers, Jovita Moore, hers is a stomach cancer, but it's a very unusual one. But she said, you know what her doctor told her to do? Stay on television. Stay at work,
involved.
doing what you can do, making a difference in somebody else's life. And I thought, isn't that amazing for the doctor to give you that advice? Don't go home and do the pity party. Don't sit at home on the porch and cry your eyes out as you watch the pasture grass grow and you're thinking, I won't see it next spring, whatever.
Well,
don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't have the pity party, but what he said to me was, he said, I'm not telling you not to do things, but he said, I'm telling you to stay away from groups of people. Because he said, the amount of chemo I've given you, he said, you can just catch anything.
Yeah.
And he said, I have so many cancer patients with COVID right now, I don't want another one. And he was telling all of us that. And one day in the IV lab, several people were saying, but I really want to go see my grandchildren or my great-grandchild or something. And he said, do me a favor, give me this Thanksgiving for the probability of you having next Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And when he put it in that term, I thought, I'm not going to go see my new great-grandniece. I'll just wait. But use your head. Go see your doctor. When I had my heart, and I fussed at all of y'all then, go see your doctors, because I had no symptoms. I had no idea in the world that was the furthest thing from my thought. When he said, yes, it's cancerous, it didn't compute. It just...
Because usually you either have weight loss or tiredness.
I didn't have any of that.
You had none of those symptoms.
Well, I was tired, but I was an old lady doing a lot of stuff. I was just pooped. I didn't... You know,
qualify.
But I'm very proud of the fact that I am 76 years old. I have survived a heart problem. I have survived cancer. God has me on a mission, and if it's nothing else than to make our listeners go get an annual checkup. It's so important.
Yep.
I love every one of you, and when you stop me in Walmart, I'll tell you the same thing.
Yep.
Go, let the doctor
One
tell
of
you
the
you're
things
fine.
that I wasn't really aware of, I had like 0 vitamin D, and so they started putting me on some really high doses of vitamin D. Well, I've now taken my 3rd bottle, and I still have no vitamin D. So I'm going today to get 2 more new bottles of vitamin D. But vitamin D, potassium, those things regulate how healthy your heart is. You know,
so
it's
much
crazy.
in your body.
It's crazy.
I'm having a problem. I am still severely anemic, but that's to be expected. I am dehydrated.
But I will just say this in front of you and God and everybody else. Your color is fantastic. You do not look like a cancer patient, which is a good sign.
Let me tell
That
you,
is a
everybody,
wonderful
it's
sign.
called Bare Minerals. It's called Bare Minerals and good light when you're putting it on. But thank you.
Yeah, because your color looks fantastic.
My cardiologist said, I'm sitting here looking at you, and he said, if I didn't look at your file, he said, I wouldn't think you were sick.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah.
in fact, you're not sick. You're getting better.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Dr. Geller kept saying, remember, it was stage 3 removed. We had clean margins, over 2-inch clean margins in every direction.
that's
But go
awesome.
see your doctor. Go talk to your family physician.
And
Let
again, the
them just
name of the
check you.
cancer you had was what?
Is a neuroendocrine. It's very rare. It's mean. It's nasty. It's hateful. They don't know where it. Right now, we haven't found.
Has anybody in your family
origination.
ever had cancer?
My daughter had thyroid cancer, but
Right.
even though endocrine, it's not the same thing, and she's perfectly clean. But my brother and I were talking about this. Nope, everybody in my family's got heart problems. But where this cancer came from, I don't know. They don't
Speaking of
know.
heart problems, yesterday got a message. Melissa Senyard, y'all know and love Bill Senyard, my co-host for many, many years. His wife's brother, Larry, 55 years old, went to meet Jesus yesterday, heart issues.
No.
Heart issues. He will be at Ponder's Funeral Home over in Fairmount. Visitation is Tuesday night, and then the service is Wednesday. But you think about that. So you know Melissa's
There's
thinking,
another one, very young.
55 years old, heart gave out. So it's just, we are not guaranteed
Go have
tomorrow.
a physical, people. So many of these things can be found and can be treated and taken care of.
Right.
Just because you feel good doesn't mean that maybe you don't have something that needs to be dealt with.
You know, one of the things that
that purple ball needs to be sitting on this
isn't that
desk.
beautiful?
That's just gorgeous.
When I'm looking at this, I think about the teal and the purple and the pink because of
That's just her.
of suicide, of dementia, and of cancer, and then we think of the gold, and the gold is in honor of every single survivor. Because for every story we're talking about something we've dealt with terrible, somebody has survived
Look at how
cancer.
she loved purple and how much purple
did.
she wore.
She did, and
Lord have
and
mercy.
she is buried in a bright green that's over here, and I got tickled because when Tori picked out the outfit for her mom to be her going away outfit, and Tori came in and she said, "Is that 2 bright colors?" It was teal, pink, purple, and bright green.
Angela.
And Kevin Roper said it looks just like her.
Angela, that
yeah.
one.
And so,
I
you
could
know,
see her in that.
Yeah, it was.
She had, I can think of one purple shirt that she used to wear a lot of, beautiful purple blouse, and I loved that.
She had the blouse on underneath this jacket.
Absolutely loved that. But she wore
Yeah.
that purple everywhere.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just loved it.
So today, honor somebody who survived a suicide attempt. Honor somebody who has beaten cancer. Honor somebody who is the caregiver for their mom, their dad, their siblings who have dementia. There are so many people. I was thinking about a family the other day. She was a health nut. She walked all the time. She ate well. She did everything great. She got dementia at 50 years old, and she died in her early 50s.
You know,
we don't know what
always
path we're going to
bothered me
take.
when I can't remember something. I think, God, please don't let me be going into dementia. But while I'm thinking about this, talking about dementia and losing your mind, I want to publicly thank Michelle because she kept all my appointments, all my labs, all my. She had a notebook this thick with everything, but no, she just kept up with everything. She was my absolute caregiver. I called her my watchdog, but she didn't, because by the time I'm going to Piedmont in Atlanta, I'm going to Northside in Atlanta, I'm going to Northside Cherokee, I'm going to Piedmont Mountainside because Dr. Geller likes to keep you in the labs where you have first things done. And she just, if I hadn't had her, I don't know what I would have done. And then when the chemo made me to a point where I was seeing
and
double.
And it probably made you a survivor rather than a statistic.
I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
So I would have been going down the road, probably killing myself and somebody else. But she was constantly, and is still right there, keeping up with everything. Even before we got here this morning, making an appointment with one of the cardiologists I have to go back and see. But because the chemo aggravates the heart, and the heart aggravates the chemo, so they've got to work together, and they both want to work like this. So, but that's why she's been. I just wanted to say thank you to her in front of everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You need somebody like that, sort of like you keep Freddie going. You know,
yeah.
What you've done so much for them and everything.
We all have to have somebody to lean on, and when I think about when I lost my mother on July the 8th, and then right after lost my husband, and I was like, who's going to prop me up? And I had to say, God, you've got to do it, because I couldn't do it by myself. Yeah. I couldn't have done it alone. And I think that is the key. You know, we have to support, love, cherish those memories.
Well, I think that's why I felt like that morning when I knew what had happened. I just felt like I had to get down there to hug you, if nothing else. It wasn't like I was coming down to have a gab fest. I just had to say I love you and I'm right here.
And suicide is
I can't make it any better, but I'm here.
Yeah. The fact that she was born Christmas Eve, the fact that she died on my birthday in January, we're approaching both those dates, but I'm going to get through it. And I can't remember the thing I put on Facebook last night, but it says you will get through this, and I will get through this.
Why don't we, let me make a suggestion.
Yes.
Why don't we just make a concerted effort to celebrate her life
absolutely.
This time. Let's talk about the funny things.
The crazy things, because she did some crazy things.
Well, we were really out of sight at Town and Country that day. I remember at R&A Orchards one day, or her petting at the petting farm and riding those
going
rides.
Down the slide.
The slide.
She loved
at
it. She loved life.
But let's make a concerted effort to talk about the good things
the crazy, funny things.
And she loved to eat.
And she loved that stupid M&M's driver.
Oh, let's not.
She loved that stupid M&M's driver.
Let's just keep Mr. Bush right here in the forefront of everything.
And she would aggravate her mama to death when her driver would win.
I wish I had her here. I need her to explain to me some of these new NASCAR rules that I am just really confused about. Something happened.
NASCAR is confused about the new rules.
Something happened the other day with our young man from Forsyth County, and I hadn't figured out what happened to him yet. And
we have to say happy birthday to Chase Elliott a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Chase Elliott. I was trying to figure out what had happened
to him, and I couldn't find the rule that was saying what he had done. But they penalized him all this money, and I'm going, well, in fact, I told Michelle, I said, well, my God, if Angela was here, she could have told me. But let's celebrate life. Let's make this a... Let's celebrate
Tim
Angela
actually
Burgess.
has some pictures of her with Santa Claus up in the Copper Basin where we did a Heart of the Home, and she was dressed in her little outfit.
But why don't we do that? Let's make some of her favorite dishes, or let's just celebrate Angela, because I laughed a lot with her. And again, I can tie bows now. And that dog, that black lab.
Let me tell you what she pulled on her mama. The last thing she did, and this was like just a week or so before she passed away, she came to the house and Freddie had made his famous chicken and dumplings. And she's standing over the pot with a spoon, and she took a bite, and she said, they're better than yours. I said, what?
And she had the nerve to say that to
and she did.
See?
She said, Mama,
we're gonna make this
his are better than yours.
We're going to, if not, every Monday will be a Celebrate Angela Day. Because if I'm going to come back and be with you on Mondays,
we're going to celebrate.
We're going to celebrate that young lady.
We need to celebrate life.
Maybe we'll put one little yellow bow up.
Yeah, and I wanted to remind y'all, I've sold out of my cookbooks, but if you want, I have them on a CD that you can install into your computer, and it gives you every one of these cookbooks. So if you're interested, this one I just happen to have here at the studio.
The cookbook is really the best thing to have. Mine's all splattered.
Yeah,
and it looks
I love
like
my
a well-used cookbook.
But I'm taking this home with me today because it's the last one in existence, and somebody wanted to buy it, and I said, I think I have one left at the studio, so I got it.
Wait till you see this new thing Michelle bought.
What is it?
It's a Ninja Foodie oven.
Oh, so we'll have it when we make bread pudding?
If we ask her really nicely, she might let us bring it.
Okay. Okay, y'all, today is a day of celebrating life. Today is a day of remembering those we have lost. And we're going to end today with Denise Caldwell singing a song called Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus. Her daddy, just end with it. Can you just roll it instead of Kaylee Shay's? Can you do that? Okay. We'll just end today with this, and then we'll play it again on Wednesday. But tomorrow, y'all, I want you to tune in because tomorrow is my favorite day. I'm going to be paying respects for Papa Jack, so I want you to tune in tomorrow and see what I love the most. And it is a very, very special Thanksgiving message from Matt Deibler and me and my crew, and it is just one of my favorite days in life. And you were there.
Really good.
That's
we're
going to celebrate it. Yes, we're going to celebrate.
To say I love that one.
It is a day to be thankful for Papa Jack, and a day to be thankful for each and every one of you for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you, and I'll see you again soon. And Jen's back. Yay!
Bye, everybody. I love
y'all.
you. Thank you. I'll see you next Monday, I guess.
Yay! Yay! Okay, for you guys that are with us on Facebook, we are so blessed because when I got the message this morning that Papa Jack had gone on to be with the Lord, I know his life. I know that he loved life. I know that he has been such a big part of the community for so many years. And now for him to leave us the holiday season, he was here.
You gave me a different point of view.